Hey footy fans, welcome to the Point of Difference Rugby League podcast. I'm your host Dave, and today I've got a Canterbury legend on the couch. He's a Hornby Panthers great, also played for the Kiwis. It's the one and only Mark Nixon. How you going, brother?
Beautiful, my friend. Beautiful.
It's great to have you here, man. Honestly, I've been really looking forward to this. So I've seen on Facebook you've got a pretty amazing vinyl collection. Is that something you'd say you're pretty passionate about?
Well, I fell into a few. I collected a few, Dave, over the period.
Yeah.
Wish I'd have got more in the UK.
Yeah.
But I never stopped since my first purchase was the Duran.
Really?
7 in the Ragged Tiger, 1985.
Oh, how good.
It plays like a gent, lightly played.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of other ones that are lightly played, probably because I like Tiffany. I don't really play that anymore, but that was what you had when you were younger.
Yeah.
But hey, I've got some good ones, and yeah, vinyls never went away.
Awesome. Yeah, they've come back, which is so cool.
Well, yeah, they apparently started to come back, but with the high spec things you have now, yeah, that sounds great. Vinyl's good. And there's nothing better than getting home and playing, putting a nice vinyl on, and relaxing, Dave.
Pop open a cold one.
Hey, yes,
Absolutely.
well, you know, cold one,
Yeah.
ice on the rock. You never know.
You know, my first ever music I ever bought as a young fella was the Red Hot Chili Peppers Californication on tape, no less. It's still one of my favourite albums today. I love it. I honestly love the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
You can. Tapes have got. There's another tapes have. There's a group that do still with the tape thing, and not many tape. Obviously, you had that in the car, but the tape ain't loose in there. But yeah, tapes and CDs, they're on the way out. Vinyl's here.
Vinyl's back, baby. All right. Oh, that's so cool, man. So let's go all the way back to the beginning. Actually, no, I want to start. What are you doing with yourself these days?
I've just football-wise, I've just been myself and Mike Doreen and become Canterbury selectors for the Bulldogs this year, and
nice.
we're hoping to take them out of the Doldens and back. No disrespect to anyone beforehand, but we've got to move forward now, and hopefully. And Walter Wilson's the coach, great friend of mine, Walter. He coached the ride side in Sydney in A grade to win that. That's one of the greatest things any coach in Canterbury have done, and Sydney in A grade. So we're looking forward to it. Malcolm Hum, he's very passionate, and it's going to be working with them, which should be really good this year. Good fun, to say the least. And Mike Duran loved the buzzer.
Yes,
he's a beautiful man, and he thinks along the same ways as I do, and so does Walter. So yeah.
Yeah, no, Mike Duran's a pretty handy player. Played in Warriors, Hunter Mariners. Just saying, still want to chew your ear off about that one day, Mike. Yeah.
The Magpies, and some Magpies.
Yeah. Yes, mate. Oh, that's awesome, man. I'd love to see Canterbury get back up in the first grade, and then obviously go all the way and get back to where they should be, number one, baby.
I mean, beaten by Targa, really, it's beyond belief.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So let's rewind the clock. Mark Nixon, where did you grow up, and what was life like for you as a young fella?
I had a great family life. My parents, Paul and Pam, we lived by Leslie Park, Roswell Place. It's a place, so the back alleyway back straight onto Leslie Park.
Oh, so easy.
The Shelfords lived next to us. Two Adrian Shelford, Harvey Shelford. Mm-hmm. The Woodgate brothers were down the end there. A lot of other kids who played. You got the Neil Kerrippers there, Simon Angel there, and Shane Hand around the next street. All the kids around the park were always at the park, and so I just grew up. And Hornby, being the club it was, were in the 70s. They just come out of that great 60s period, and so a lot of junior sides, because they obviously on the other side of Hornby got Witham Street, so you're either Hornby L or Hornby W.
Right.
So there's a lot of junior sides, and their premier side was a little bit in decline at the time.
Uh-huh.
And but they soon came back. They bought a couple of players. Well, the great Rain Robinson came back. He played in '68. They brought him back to Christchurch, and he player coached us and got us back going somewhere in the comp with Papanui Eastern were very hard to beat. Mm-hmm. And I started being a ball boy at the showgrounds.
Nice.
So, and then Hornby, obviously they climbed out of the 70s into the 80s, and Brian Langton had coached them, and Kevin Woodham come in.
Yep.
And turned them and started, and all their kids had come through, and they started being Hornby, the club they were.
Yeah, nice.
Again. And then obviously Frank got hold of them, and that's when I came into Premiers.
Nice.
But, you know, and the juniors at Hornby, it was fantastic. So many kids. I'm very lucky that my father coached the side here, and he was very progressive.
Yes.
We had an Australian side come over and play us at under 11s called Mount Druitt.
Yeah.
Played us at Branksome Intermediate. And this is the old rugby union league thing, and it was the only game we played at Branksome nowadays because they got league there, but the headmaster was too rough, but it was good. They were top side, we were top side, and the whole school watched us.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the days where you let a billet out and they come over, and we went there at under 13s, played Harwood Valleys and Manly, North of Newcastle, and then up to Mount Druitt. 3 completely different areas, but it was our 13-year-old side and brother's 11-year-old side, and that we knew about Australia then. Yeah. We wanted to be Australia. We knew we could play those sides then, so that was good.
Yeah.
And you know, obviously we knew about English rugby league, but we had the Aussie boys, and not a lot of that's done these days. No. The junior sides.
All right.
Yeah.
So was that where it all started for you, like actually playing and then coming up through the grades through Hornby from day one?
Yeah. And you play representative football and we play the West Coast. But I think in Canterbury 11s we played the Darling Downs come over from Australia.
Okay.
We played the 11s, Canterbury 11s and Canterbury 12s was Terry Hermanson side, Neville Wooden's side. I think they beat them and we just got beat. And that's when they were representing side, no, you know. These Aussie boys had their headgear on, the shoulder pads, and they were running hard and it was good. And we played a lot of Australian sides during our juniors, so we knew that sort of football.
Yeah, so that would have helped you progress.
Oh, yeah,
right
absolutely.
Up through the grades. Yeah.
Yeah, and it wasn't new to us about anything like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you a 5'8"?
I played halfback actually.
Really?
Most of that, yeah. And look at halfback as we progress here. Played halfback till up till under 15s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So, would you say it came naturally to you being a playmaker?
Hey, we did a lot of athletics as well when we were younger for the Paparai Athletics Club. Logan, his father was the president.
Yeah.
So we're always out running and doing and sharpening us. Yeah, playmaker. Well, and then finishing. They used to call the seagull. There's the ball, like to get in the chip. That's what Frank coined it that one day. Yeah.
Yeah. So did you work like extra hard in training outside of your regular training, or was it just something you just naturally wanted to do?
As a junior, I didn't have to. Naturally fit, but we did do weights at 14, 15 and we'd have had that going on. But after that, I absolutely worked. Definitely on the sprint work. Yeah.
Because I liken it to say like Aaron Whittaker, he would wake up, he had a Kiwi jersey on the side of his bed, he'd roll over at 5 in the morning, look at that, and that would get him up to go train, do extras, everything.
Well,
is that the sort of thing?
Possibly, I already had one before him, so I didn't have to do that. But there was other
cheap shot.
There was other things that motivated me. Like previous to that, I went to the 15-year-old tournament and national tournament. Never got a game. Only player in history never to get a game in a 15-year-old tournament.
Really?
And that coach, he came up to me when I made the Kiwis and I said, "Hey mate, you're the reason. You motivate me."
Right.
The only game I got was on the front lawn at the Russell Stewart's house in Bay of Plenty, Rotorua. I mean, Russell Stewart, good player. This old man came out and bagged the coach, hit him up at the airport. You can't treat players like that anyway. So that was motivating.
Yeah.
I didn't. As I was through the grades and got to 13, 14, I didn't mature as fast as the other kids.
Okay.
So till I'm 17. So at 15, 16, 14, I was a small kid with braces running around. And then I shot up again and propelled.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's when it all started again for me.
Nice. So did you always want to be like a footy player or a professional footy player, or was it just sort of something that fell in your lap the more you played?
Absolutely, I couldn't see anything else.
Okay.
We used to get the Challenge Cup finals on TV in New Zealand at AM, and I mean, those sides were in the flat. Witness were in Adidas gear and Featherstone Rovers, and the crowd at Wembley. You think, geez, it's great.
Pretty wicked, eh?
And they played test matches on the sun. And colour TV came in 78, 80. The Kiwis had a bit of a good series in Australia there, and used a lot of players up, and we saw that was unreal. And then, you know, the Aussie football, they play it once a year, the grand final, and and we'd seen it. And that was way out. And things you knew it was going to be professional, and things were going to come right.
Yeah.
And living next to the park, it was always 5 nights a week. Well, obviously 4. There was a team training on that park.
Yeah.
Kids, whatever, but they'd separated into 2. So yeah, good.
Very cool. So playing as a younger fella, I love asking these questions. Did you, because you were a half, did you love the contact right at the beginning, or was that something you had to adapt to?
I didn't want to get tackled for a start, so that's why you get caught with the ball. So that's why you try and get away and score tries or back up and whatever.
Yeah.
But the contact for the game is great. You know, we got taught how to tackle around the legs early in our careers. By good coaches, my father, other coaches, around the legs, head in the right position, shoulder, and we like that. Okay. So the contact was obviously it's a contact sport, and that we all loved it.
Yeah, and you just harden up to it, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. It just came naturally. You don't care. You're always playing every day, a week.
Right. So when did you step up to Prems for Hornby?
Well, the thing is, under 17, I played for the same team right through the grades. So that's Logan Edwards and Dave Lee and Timmy Fagan and Peter Beck and Scott Barr and Darren White, some Neil Berry, good players.
Yeah.
But I was in the same school year at school as him. I was with Nev Woodham and Tony Stewart, Chris Moffat and Logan Symes and those guys. And it came to after the 17s. You go to the 19s and you have 2 sides.
Okay. And
my team, the 17s were coming up, they were the younger side and they were already the older side. So I switched teams, myself and Peter Beck, with Lex Clark, and I went to play on the older 19-year-old side.
Okay. And
it caused massive controversy at Hornby. And Logan dogged up on me, never talked to me. And the big game with my other mate, Warren Broderick, got a letter in the mail, someone said, we're going to get you, and they'd cut out.
Really?
Yeah. And Lex Clark used it as motivation before we played them. And they always maintain if Peter had stayed, we could have been the only team that's come from the young time to win it. But anyway, the older side never won anything in their life.
Really?
This older side. And we added a few players. We got Chukotai Rona come down from North Island, a guy called Andrew Jackson who'd come along, and the boys were all fit, and we end up, and Paul Chamberlain and Brett Roger come across from Riccarton High and never played, they've been rugby players, and got us started together and got a team spirit going, and we end up winning, beat Papanui, Terry Hermanson's team.
Take that,
Terry. Been for 5 years, hadn't we beaten? We beat them in the 9-year-old final.
Oh, okay.
And instantly we've been bonded for that, for years after that. And it's funny, we used to hang around in two vans, a combi and a Ford. Anton would drive one and Neville Woodham would drive the other one, and everyone, girlfriends and boys, would pile in, drive around every Saturday night. Yeah. It was a tight side. And Lex Clark, great coach, Lex, he was the coach, and so it was good. But the next year we went up to premiers with Frank. Yep. A lot of players had left the club and they've been in the grand final, and myself and Neville Woodham went straight on the halves, and I think Chucky was there and Michael Crawford went up. Logan Edwards, he went to Marist. Okay. He's the enigma. And Wayne Wallace was meant to be, he went to Marist, but we ended up making the grand final, played Hallsville, got beat 15-14.
That's so hard.
The other one's years before when he kicks it from the halfway, it was a couple of years, the bank anyway, and we and Neville thought, we'll make the grand final every year. Yeah. This is great. But the next year, Frank's gone, he's going to coach Canterbury, Lex Clark comes up, but there's a few older guys that can't see eye to eye with Lex, and we don't make the final, we make the Gore Cup. We run 5th and 6th and get beaten in the Gore Cup.
That's the bottom 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's come from the top, and I've never experienced this. And we're like... But the year before, in 87, I'd made the junior Kiwis.
Okay.
So that's when Rochdale had signed, and it sort of hit me up and signed me there. So, and the next year in 88, I played for Canterbury first year. Yep. With Ray Heffernan as a coach. So, we played Auckland, but the Hornby team premiers, we were very average. And that's when I got the rookie clearance the next year. Yes. After 88. And I just also been playing touch as well. And I got a phone call late after Hornby's gone pretty average, and I got the rookie scene. A phone call, and I think my parents were away, and my younger brother, Justin, I think they might have been looking for him to play for New Zealand. But someone had pulled out, but I answered it. phone. And they said, the coach goes, now, are you Mark? I said, it's Mark. He goes, how would you like to come to the World Touch Tournament in Australia? It's 1,200. And I'm looking there, and I just got the bail out, and my card's been stolen. And I got $1,200 for the insurance money. I was like, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. And I'm thinking, I get there, I go there, I can go to the Gold Coast because I'm a rookie. It's my best chance of playing reserve grade or first grade.
Yeah.
So I went there, did that, played the game, and must have word got out. The Australian coach was Buck Rogers. He's the Raiders assistant coach. But anyway, myself and a guy called Alan Lindsay, the Canterbury rugby halfback, drove to the Gold Coast. Tweed heads where they're shut.
Yeah.
No one in the office. So we drove back, and I hired a car especially to do this. And Jesus. Anyway, I got round, and Buck Rogers was the Aussie key. Hit me up. He goes, mate, if you can play touch, this league as good as you play touch, we'll get you to Canberra.
Really?
And I was thinking, oh yeah, right, eh? 2 days later, I'm back. Tim Sheens rings up.
No way.
Yep, rings me up. Tim Sheens. Yep, we'll see everything over his training program. See you on January 1. And this is November. And I'm like, you're kidding me. Everyone's gone to top. Yeah, everyone's gone to other, like, I think Jared McCracken's gone to North Sydney. And with Paul Nahu, and Toots is still, he's going to Wests. And Dean Clark's gone to Roosters. And so I get there, and
so you're talking Mal Meningas, all the big guns, Ricky Stewart, Laurie Daly, your Brett Todds, all of them, they're all over there. Raiders. Little Mark Nixon shows up after playing touch.
I show up. But I didn't know that Tim Sheens and Buck Rogers had their own touch team, and part of the deal was me to play touch for their team.
And
that was the funniest thing. And like they wind me into that. But I'd show up. So we stay in a hotel. I'm staying with David Barnhill and Nigel Gaffey and Darren Fritz, the other trialists, and heaps of us all in the thing. And then we go to first training, and they're narrowing that down. And then they make us stay in the private suites because they can't have with beds. We're doing the Coca-Cola Kids thing, and Toddy's at Wakefield Trinity, and he has David Topless the coach. Can't agree with him. Finishes just after Christmas, comes home, turns up, sees me there, goes, mate, get your gear, you're leaving here, come and stay with me. And it was like saying bye to your mates out to school, because I was saying, see, and they're going, where are you going? I said, I'm going to the Toddy. And they're going, oh, you're kidding, aren't you? See you, boys. I said, don't worry, I've got my 21st coming up. Yeah, and that was it. We're good. Training with Tim Sheen, 4 different singlet groups, and you're in a blue, maroon, green, whatever. And I was with Ricky Stewart's group, and Brad Clyde's in there. That's how you train on Tuesdays.
Wow.
Singlet groups, and it's competitive, sprints, everything. Oh, unreal training, great.
And that must have made you as a player, like going to Canberra. They were the best side of the late 80s, early 90s.
We've gone to our first game as the 52 after I've played touch. We played the tournament, scored a winning try, and I'm in the front seat driving big Buck Rogers ute, and Tim in the middle of Tilly were drinking, and they were signing you $500, mate, and money starts on his head, give it a clap. And I'm like, you beauty. Well, no wrapped. And anyway, we go to our big first 21s, reserve grade, first grade, away at Illawarra for a weekend, and the 3 grades just won by 30 points.
Crazy.
And everyone's like, Jesus, we're going good this year. There's going to be 3 teams are stacked, everything. Yeah, and there's some players here that, they're looking. Gary Belcher.
Yeah.
Unreal. And Ivan Henjak.
Oh, yep. Yep.
And Ricky, and the great forwards everywhere. So young forwards coming through, and we're going good. The club's going good. And Toddy said, well, we'll have a 21st here, eh? Yeah. Well, only like the 52 rated players and the girlfriends. And we got this big house in Woodger Parade, no sponsoring us. Big 2-story by the river, balcony, and it's on.
Yeah. And
the bonding in the air. And Ricky Stewart handed me 4 half yards of doing on. Had a crack. Jesus, they'll give me, come on, you Kiwi, come on. Yeah. And look back at it, we've got great photos. It was a great night out, Who would do that experience, Stanley run Stanley, and for that club, no one's better than anyone else.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's what they had. No one's better than anyone else. Everyone, because the Queenslanders have come from Queensland to Canberra, so there's a lot of them there. There's 10 of them.
Yep.
and there's Sydney boys and there's country boys and everyone's in a couple of Kiwis.
Yep.
Well, Lonergan had been there the year before, but he had sort of fallen out with Buck Rogers.
Okay.
Give him a whack, I don't know why. But yeah, it was great. And always in the rookie scheme, I knew that I was meant to go to Rochdale anyway, I had a contract with them.
Okay.
So it didn't matter what was going to happen, I was just going to use it as a
stepping stone.
They're never going to sign on $36,000 Australian. And I got Matthew Wood coming through and and other players, and it was great
Did you get
times.
Close to playing first grade?
I think I played reserve grade one time. Every week you sit there and they'd name like 4 or 5 reserves to go into the reserve grade and go sit on the sit like that. But you're always hoping that you're going to get there. And then at a few places you never got it. You might have got a spot you're on sitting on the bench and that. But then they were such a tight bunch that they had to tell us, not the ones who didn't get on the bench, not to sit there anyway and having a pie and talk to the other players because everyone would be not together.
Oh, that's amazing. What great team camaraderie.
Well, they had it in spades here, and that's why it reflected in 89. I think that they won the final 21s because I went early. Frank wanted me. Well, Frank got me to play for Canterbury. He was in a bad run there, and on the way through to England, I played against Wellington.
Okay.
And they didn't. They were a bit dirty that I left earlier for the final thing because they. And I knew that, but hey, it's the way it was. They, being a Kiwi forward's one thing, but being a Kiwi back in Australia, you ain't. They don't see you as equal. Okay. You have to be special.
Right.
Because I think there's only 3 players playing over there at the time.
Gareth Freeman would have been one of them.
And Clayton Friend.
Yeah.
Were the other the halfbacks. Well, that's pretty cool. I think Fred Arcoy was there.
Right.
But there wasn't many others to get in a run. So it was good. Hey, fantastic train. Learned how to train. Put it this way. I mean, met some great people and still friends with them today. And I caught up with them years later. Yeah. But on the way through, I'm heading to the played Frank we played base and reserve, scored a couple. Wayne Wallace is in the Canterbury team, and he tells me he knows I'm Logan heading back to the UK, Logan's getting back, and I'm going the first stint for the Rochdale because I couldn't go the year before. Walden goes, "I'll see you there." I said, "Why?" He goes, "I'm in the Kiwi too. Just mate that told me I'm not taking him there. I'm taking me on 30 or 30. They want me midweek captain. I'll go. I'll see you there." We're like, "All right, well." Then Frank goes, "Yeah, well, I'll see you there. I'm going to get a camper van. I'm going to drive around and watch all the games with Cameron Bell and Laurie Stubbings." And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, the dudes want to see us already." In the Rochdale, but yeah, so that's the start of the good run.
So how did the Rochdale contract come up?
There's a chairman called Len Stansfield. They had a lot of cricketers from here. Okay. Sydenham, and he was both Sydenham cricket.
Right.
And I think Graham, Ben Harris, and the other brother, what's his name? The good one? Chris Harris was here.
Oh, Chris Harris.
Yeah, they played for Rock, and it was called Ramsbottom, the cricket club.
Oh my God.
They played at Lancaster, and another guy, Shannon Stewart, played there. Yeah. Later on, and they Ramsbottom, and he was both, but they've seen me play on the Junior Kiwi Tour in '87, and we had a good side, 7 from 7. Broke my arm against Oldham side there. Okay. Bob Bailey was the coach, so still let us start on the tour. It was good. 7 from 7, great. Kevin Iro, Joe McCracken, great side. Tammy Tagaloa, Dean Clark, Tony Timavavi.
Stop it.
And
great name.
And they'd seen me there, so they already got on to me, and so they knew that. I was going the year before, but went on the rookie thing. Okay. And we get to Rochdale, and I'm there first, and playing Halifax, and I get there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, play Halifax, come off the bench. The big Roy Dickinson must have whacked one of our players in the face, and 7,000 at Trum Hall. They'd come down from the first division. Yep. So I went in for tried to be tough hit, but got 10 minutes. While I'm on the warming up again, someone spat right in the back of my head. And I turned around, and Alan Agar, the great coach, don't what about if someone get back out there, show me what you can do, you know. He'd already introduced me to Johnny Woods, the legend who was playing for us. He was 36 years old before I went and bought him.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, man, the last time I saw you was a ball boy and I was 13. And so it was, they give us a touch-up 32-6. Anyway, we play Wednesday night. But before this, Lonergan hasn't shown up. It's just me sitting in the house on my own for 2 days talking to no one. And I'd never meet Dean Lonergan, the big cowboy.
Yeah.
And he, next thing, bang, bang, bang on the door. It's Monday night. And here he is, wearing a big leather jacket, fur leather jacket, reading the Doors book, Doors of Perception, with one bag. Cowboy boots on, bowl straight in. Here you go. Oh, you good, Dean, good. So I talked the ears off him for about 2 hours. I can see why you've been on your own for a while. You're talking my ear off. Yeah, and it becomes good. Then Logan shows up on the Wednesday. It's 3 of us in his house. Tips his bag out. He's been there before. What are we up to? Dean goes, right, boys. Just jacked up 1,500 quid for 3 cars. So we go looking for these cars. Dean gets an Audi 700, I think, and Logan gets one for 600. They throw mine in because I'm for 200 is a Datsun 180B.
Nothing wrong with the Datsun, mate. Nothing wrong with it.
And Dean's running the house like he's iron fist, you know. And I said, I'm going to get a job and work out in Manchester. And they go, whoa. Dean's had other ideas. He's going to run a raffle in town and make some money. I don't think there's any prizes, but him and Logan are doing that. And I don't want a part of this. But Dean was fantastic, absolutely fantastic in the house. Dean Lonergan, and Logan, and then his wife, his missus, come and stay with us. And Logan ended up getting his own place.
Yeah.
And I had another guy, Grant Downing, stayed there, and an Aussie guy called Andy Harris, who had an English passport, who played reserve grade for the Hornets.
Yep.
But Dino, we were very competitive.
Yeah.
Very competitive there in the house. And we're playing anything, bowls for money.
Yeah.
We play Scrabble. We're playing Scrabble. And we're going massive. And this, by a lot of the period I'm starting to score tries, I'm getting a bit cocky in the house. And I think Dean knows it's time for me to get out because I'm baiting him. Anyway, we're playing Scrabble. Me, Logan, Grant down, Andy Harris is there, and we're there. And then I'm giving a bit of saying a few things. Next thing, the board's up. It's in the air. He's grabbed me. He's thrown my head into the sink, smashing me. Don't be so cheeky. We love this story because I'm great friends with him. Logan's jumped on his back, tried to get him off him. I said, fuck, I've got a couple on, Logan. He goes, you got none. And I go to training, I got there. But you tell you what, we laugh about it now. Toughened me right up. And I learned a couple of lessons. Don't be cheeky to someone much bigger than you,
Yeah,
especially when they're from Auckland,
yes.
like Dino. And over the years, he's looked after me. He's fight for life and great. And I still talk to him most weeks now. Brilliant fellow. But I end up moving out straight away. Got my gear. See ya. I'm going to live with Logan in Deeplish, because Logan's had a house to himself. He'd been sold to Swinton.
Right.
Because Helen Laheyard didn't like the way he was operating in the village.
Okay.
So that was great. We lived there and they lived there, and we used to play very well. Russell went a very good season. And that's when, they started Logan. There was a question someone said about nickname Harry.
Yeah.
Because Logan used to take his whole pay packet out and he'd blow it in there, and I'd only take £5 out. So just for a late night drink and a bit of a dance. And 3 nights in a row, weeks in a row, can you lend me some money? I said, mate, I've only got £5. So in the Young Ones, the TV show, the Young Ones.
Yeah, I love the Young Ones. Yeah.
Is that Harry the Bastard was he owned the pawn stock, the pawn everything. They tried to sell their TV and all that.
Yeah.
It'll be £5. It'll be £5. No, I'll give you £5. He goes, you're Harry the Bastard. And we go to training, he starts calling out, he was yelling out before the Harry. And they're yelling on the side, and next thing, the Alan Agar start going, oh, good, howdy boy. And the Pommies start calling me Harry. And this has gone from there and it's spiraled out of control. Get back to New Zealand, and I'm playing a game for Hornby, and he's there and he's yelling out from the side of the thing. Then other people start, well, Harry. And then it's just gone, Harry. And I'm sure some people don't even know me. How you going, Harry? So that's how that happened. It's just
Oh, mate.
Harry
Absolutely.
the B. Brett Rogers loved. He calls HTB Harry the Bastard.
Yeah.
Or Harold, and it's funny how that happens. And Rochdale, we ended up getting promoted to the first division.
Oh, nice.
We beat Oldham first time 20 years in the big derby game on a boxing day. On a boxing day there, and Dean and Logan had a punt with the other boys for some reason, and there was couple of hundred in there, and Logan's not playing, we're running out at half time, and he goes to Dean, the boys want to know if the punt's still on. Dean goes, tell them it's still on, and I want the money in the bar after the game. This is at half time, and I'm like, please. And so that's great. We beat them. We beat Halifax right at the end too, and we after they'd given us a touch up, and I ended up playing halfback in that game because our little halfback Sully had been injured, and a stroke of genius from Alan Agar. He coached like that. He goes, I know that in your life previous you'd been playing halfback a lot, so he started with Johnny Woods, and we beat them. They had a good side with Chris Anderson was a coach, and Tony Anderson and Brian Hetherington there, and the big forward pack with Les Holiday and big prop, couple of big boomers, and it was good. And we ended up getting promoted. So obviously, and this time when we were over there, Frankie turned up at our house with his camper van parked outside and wanted to use our facilities. And that was great. And he sat down with for a beer, and he sits down about how he wanted to coach Canterbury when we get back, and who's on the side, and how we want to do things and that. Because what had been going on in England first, previous, and everyone doesn't know this about Australia, is that the Poms were playing left and right centres and left and right back rowers before Australia.
Right.
So even Canberra weren't playing until they weren't playing then in Sydney until when we went to England. I started off playing left centre. So it wasn't the same as like second five and centre. You weren't wrapping around. They were playing it like that. A back row there, centre, and running it like that.
Yeah.
So we knew how to play. And Frank seen that, and I told him how this was being played, and he said, "Wow, we'll bring that back right from Canterbury, and we'll do it right from the start." Yeah. And because my first game, the Rob Potts said they game playing at Rochdale, their ground was like carpet. There was a soccer team there, and we played Swinton. It was that fast. Yeah. Faster even when I was in Australia. The way, because of left and rights, and you never went round. So, and that's how they say. So Frank sat down. We talked about who's going to be in the side and how we're going to do this, and so we get promoted, and so we get back in Canterbury. First didn't start too well because I already played with Ray Haff. Wellington gave us a touch up. Yep. But then the next week we come back and beat Auckland the first time in 1990.
About that. Yep.
25-22.
Amazing.
And I remember the game, and we're only 900 people there, and I think we were still starting to come right, and he put a good side, we had a good side out, centre and Logie. I remember that last play where I went to dummy half, and Banky was there, and Kelly Silver watching me, but I'd spotted Simon Angel out there, and I just threw a big, about a 20 metre side spiral out to him and missed out a couple, and he just went for the hole, and Logan just pinged straight off him. Yeah. And went over, and we came in, and
nice.
Game over. Nice. And we were like, that hadn't been done for a while. We were like,
it was like right at the death.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, yeah. I felt, and we knew we always could beat them, Auckland, because I forgot to say the 19-year-olds when we won the 19-year-old tournament on the West Coast, beat Auckland. Okay. Right, and it was the first time there for a while, so we always felt we could win it. A lot of the players on that side. And this is real guilty. Yeah. So we had a few of the, and then we went to the Cokers, and we had Jim Fisher owned that, and we had a big night, and it was like real good. And then we had come back to reality, played Bay of Plenty, and then played Auckland up there, and they were fired up again for that one. Yeah. I think they won by. They beat us like 32-20 or something like that. But hey, we're in the game now. We're in this game, and we are Canterbury, and they knew that we were coming for them. So that was good. And then had a good season. Then I think Hornby won the premiership. 1990. Yeah. So I ended up Rochdale in the first division. I actually had a great season. Yeah. Played for the Kiwi trials, scored a couple, was President's Turn against England.
Yep.
Went to Papua New Guinea it got dropped against Great Britain and didn't even get on, but they brought Ridgie in. Bob Bailey promised,
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Let's talk about that while we're on it. Come on. You must have been filthy about it, surely.
Absolute filthy. I was, mate, and I remember going to the airport, and I think Graham Stedman's going home for the Palms injury, and he goes, I can't believe they fucking dropped you. The best fucking player last week. And I'm like, yeah, fuck, get back to the flat, we're living in the boys, and Brett Roger, where you going? I said, mate, I'm not dropped. What? And the Kiwis are playing in Christchurch next week. Oh, and I'm filthy as. Anyway, Ridgie and Tony Kemp and Kevin Ori turned up, and we went out when they were here, and that didn't really. So, but a week later, after the last test, we had a whiteboard at our flat, and someone got a phone call from the manager. It had, Harry, pack your bags, you're going to Papua New Guinea on Saturday. Nice. So I was like, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Get to Papua New Get to Papua New Guinea, what a place.
Oh, come on, mate.
What a place,
Give us your Papua New Guinea stories. Come
mate,
on.
And it's unreal. You can't, the first place we're up in Goroka, and mate, it pissed down with rain, and we won 42-8, I think, and good score, and it was hot, but we were jumping in the swimming pool after training in our gear, and they didn't like that because we didn't want to do a washing, and they said don't do that in the Bird of Paradise. It was a closed, fortified hotel area, and they made a documentary with there, and like,
oh wow.
I mean, I think we were at a supermarket, and we got rushed so much we had to leave out the back door, and it was unreal. They was trying to get hold of us, and Gary Freeman couldn't go anywhere, and it was super cool. Then we ended up back in Port Moresby and played there, and 36 degrees.
Oh,
and we won that. And Ridgie was my roommate. He was going through whatever he was doing. He was hard to talk to. we won 16-10 and started at 5'8", got all these grass burns on my leg, stuck to my pants, and needed shots to get me, and we come back through Sydney because we're playing Australia.
Okay.
We're flying into Wellington, and Kemby's injured. I'm thinking, right, I'm going to start, but I couldn't train the first 3 days, and I don't think the lack of communication there, but I ended up finding out I'm not starting, I'm bringing Kelly Shelford in.
Really?
Yeah, and he's starting ahead of me, and then I'm on the bench. So, play Australia, and Bob, Bob, really, we played Australia, the subs are myself, Georgie Mann, Gary Musa, and Mark Horo. It's 10 to go. Bob Fulton just runs straight these subs out. And we're looking around. He doesn't put any of us on. Des Hasler comes up to me after the game. He goes, okay, he swapped jerseys. I said, yeah. He goes, mate, can't believe it. Could not believe that. I said, oh.
Tell me about it.
That's a double whammer, mate.
Yeah.
So, that was at the end of the, and then I ended up going back to, and I was like, I know Gary and the other boys, but for me, it was like, the old man's here, you don't get on, and you started last week. It was like, I don't know how I'd never treat players like that, you know? Then you come up and say, nah, sorry, fellas. Like, you just run us out. I don't know if he was trying to keep the score, couldn't trust us, and the score was like 24-12, but I've looked at the game, we could have come on and added some starts.
Absolutely.
You run them out. And I know they were filthy, the other boys, and that's right. So we end up finish that, and I'll head back to the UK with Rochdale.
Yeah.
And I've been playing with Hornby, and it's I didn't think that. Rochdale they've offered me more money to come back early for the start of the season, get there right at the start of the season.
Right. Because
you can't go to the off-season till your team gets out of the line red cut or finishes the thing. And I thought, didn't think Hornby, Addington had a good side. I don't think we could beat them. And I played the semi-final, we beat Liv, and then I said, I'm going straight to England now. And they were like, oh, you dirty bastard.
Did you not play that final?
No, I bolted to the UK, and we had Neville Woodham and Justin Nixon. They played halves and good centres. Wayne Wallace has given me the filthy fuck.
Yeah, because your brother played, didn't he?
Yeah, and you were joking. So, and I knew they'd give me X amount of cash, and But Hornby ends up going on and winning
They
it.
did. They beat Addington like 24-12 or something, didn't they?
Then they played bang, bang, bang. So effectively, I get to the UK, I can't play anyway. Because you can't play till they're finished.
Oh, okay.
So it's not bad, but all my mates are on the OE, so they turn up in Rochdale, and the club keep going, so you're not allowed to play this week either. And I'm like, oh, well. And I'm 4 weeks out before I get there. And we've got some cash and having a good time. And, yeah, well, I'm having a good time with the boys. And anyway, our first game back, and we played Bradford Northern, and we beat them. And I thought, fuck, we'll go all right this season, you know, it's just what's there, Rochdale. We ain't going to go all right. We end up getting flogged every week. We did all right in the beat Castleford in the one of the midweek cups, and I couldn't play them. It was a Regal Trophy.
Okay.
I'd been sent off against Leeds for tripping Mike Kawiti 4 weeks. You had to pay your fine yourself, and I thought that the club would pay it. So we come to play the final of the Regal Trophy. We actually made the final, and it was Bradford. And I'm not allowed to play.
Oh, no.
So the Monday night, bloke goes, I'm going to Billy Idol. You coming or what? I said, I haven't going to school training. But on Tuesday night, I'm being banned, so I should have gone to Billy Idol.
Yeah, you should.
And so that was average. And so end up having to sit out another week, and then we come back, and then things went, we tried hard this side, but we were getting outgunned a bit.
Yep.
And we got beat by. Our first game against Wigan was unreal. At Central Park, we got close.
Yeah.
But the next one, they beat us 66-6.
Bit of a high.
Ellery Hanley scored 6 tries. He pushed Andy Gregory out.
Sorry.
Pushed his teammate out of the way to get another one. Real funny. But then I really played some. And then Castleford hit us up again, and I remember getting home. I'm grazed again.
Yeah.
Ice burns, and thinking, this is hard going here. And anyway, finished the season. I end up back. I'd signed for another year, but I cut it short.
Yep.
They would have been they got relegated.
Okay.
But I just couldn't handle going back there, and it was 52 weeks in a year grind.
Yeah. And it's
You're
cold.
a player. Yeah.
Oh, you mentioned Thrum Hall. That's pretty cold, right?
Well, it goes on a lane. Yeah. From Hall. Halifax is on ground.
Yeah.
And it gets cold because I'm playing in the winter then. So I didn't want to go from another winter to another winter. I needed a summer. So I cut it short, came back to New Zealand, and thought, I'll have a great summer and it'll be great. And we'll train hard for the next thing, 90 and into 92. We're playing, it was good. And it was great. Went all right. We started again, and it's Mobile South. I think we played Canterbury Bankstown, is it? Or the Roosters.
Okay.
And
I think you played the Roosters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we went, it was fair, we went pretty good, and Quentin Pontier got picked up in that game by the Canberra.
Oh, nice.
And had a fair season with Canterbury. Oh no, that's, ended not, but I forgot to say, I went on a great trip in 91, right at the end of the season. We played in 91 for Canterbury, we beat Auckland, and we had right at the end of the year, we played North and West in Canterbury, Auckland.
Okay.
And the Friday night, was good. And Canterbury went good. We only got to speak by Auckland 11-9 up there. And on the Sunday, they drew with West, because a lot of the boys come back, play for the Hornby and all the Haweswood and Hornby boys come back and played in the Lion Red Cup for their club sides, and they took a big squad up there. And it was a really good trip. And then, by the end of the year, 91, Hornby, Wayne Wallace and Ross Taylor, who former Kiwi, was the manager. Yep. 30,000 we raised, went on an 8-day bus trip around the North Island.
Nice. 2
games. A few players had pulled out. But Logan being Logan goes, I'll meet you in Picton. Walter said, he's going to meet us in Picton. I said, how's he meeting us in Picton? He said, I don't know what he's doing, he's going to meet us here. We get to Picton, sure enough, he's waiting on the wharf, waving out.
No way.
And he goes, I said, how much? He goes, mate, don't worry about going to the bank, get money out. I've got 800 on me, I'll give you 400 now, and when we get to Hamilton, you fix me up.
Hamilton?
Yeah, because
we're stopping ground.
we're going to Palmy North and play the Black Power. I think it was all And no, beaten there, and then that was great. They loved us, and then we were up on the bus trip, we're cruising, we're up to him. Get there, he goes, right, get the money, go to the bank. He goes, mate, I reckon, okay, just what? Bit of GST, bit of it. No, I had put me a pair of Ray-Bans as well. I said, righty. So when he plays, he's wearing his Maris socks. He's at Maris, he's not playing for Hornby.
Okay.
And we're on the trip, and we're going to Northland, we're going to Whangarei.
Yeah.
We cut through to Whangarei, and we're playing the Kensington Knights. And Whangarei, man, and we go to the end of the season and the Electric Puha playing. The Greeks here, he's president. And we play the game, we beat them, they come out pretty hard, and we have if they don't like they don't like the ball being booted back to them, but and I'm thinking, geez, Wayne Wallace is taking the game pretty seriously. I didn't know that he had paid out for his elbow $13,000. He'd had a few the night before the game, and because up there, one of the pubs we went to had the big. He's got a picture of him with the Sorensen brothers backing down the scrum. He goes, "Have you had a look around the room? Have a look at that picture." I said, "Oh, right." But it's so good. We've done this, but our destination is the Bay of Islands for the last 3 nights.
Nice,
and it's sensational. We're there, and we had 100 dozen Canterbury draft and all the club. And we're going to Russell, and we're there, and we made a mini hole, 8, 9 holes, but I turned an 18 can a hole, and I've done all these things. It's a great play, a great time at the Hornby, and the bus trip home. Brilliant. And, well done on that trip. I don't think anyone's attempted to do that again in New Zealand, and a fantastic trip. Still, some of the great stuff. And with that, and so we get into the 92 season, and Hornby aren't going that good again, and we're getting a bit stale things here in Canterbury.
Did you win 91 though?
Yeah, won 91. Beat Hallsville. Beat Hallsville. Yeah,
pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was good, and that's why I promised Wayne I'd get back after the other. We won that, and that was good with Justin. And then 92, I think he's gone to Hallsville.
Yeah. Now there's a fan question. Probably the best time to ask you about that is right now. So what did you think when he jumped ship to Hallsville? I mean, they're the arch enemy. I mean,
he grew in, he's only small inch, they call him inch, but he grew in stature.
Yeah.
I couldn't, he was going to get coached by Gordon Smith, he should have stayed, but him and my father, their ego at the time were massive. They both got in, they had to go take him, it was ridiculous. One in, one out, they went to court over it, I'm like, oh, you guys are embarrassing, man. And it was in the papers, and Hornby didn't want him to go. But he did it, because he didn't want Hornby and Mark Nixon and Neville Woodham playing together, or it wouldn't matter because I was going to Walter was playing me in the centres anyway. I was going to play centre.
Okay.
So, but I actually bought Blair Harding came there too. But 92, Hornby got a bit stale, and we only made the semi, and we're out of them. Canterbury had not a bad year. I think we had Logan never played, or Brett Rogers, a few injuries, and I think we drew with Auckland 8 all that year.
Okay.
And I made a Kiwi trial, but I just felt I was a little bit that year a bit off.
Right. Without
being in England and not match hardened.
Okay.
So it's into 92 season, the end of the year, I thought, mate, really, this is getting to the state. I have to really train hard. I want to make the Kiwi tour. And a guy called Andrew Jackson, who I met had played football, he'd been to Arkansas University.
Really?
And he'd come back with this training program called Pahuska Power. He's got me into it, Brent Stewart into it, and a few others, and some rugby boys.
Right.
And it was a real power-based, power cleans, weight and sprints, stretching thing. And I'll tell you what, that summer, I never went out. So it was one of the most intensely boring summers I've ever had, where, and you have to be so selfish. So there was no alcohol, no nothing, it was just...
Yep, that sounds
boring. And I come out of we come into 93 season, and thanks to Jacko, I'm fizzing.
Mm-hmm.
And Hornby come out, and they've got we're on new look side of Goober gear, the coach, and Marty Creekers come down from the North Island, and Simon, and we're fizzing. We come out, blitzed everyone this pre-season, and then Canterbury comes out in the first game playing. I think we blitz Auckland by 40 points.
Yeah.
And we're going real good, and then and on doing this thing, and somewhere along the season there, I can make the tour, and then somewhere along the season, I think I must have smacked my shin.
Yeah.
And it was a bit, it'd been, but how I feel got fractured.
Okay.
I thought it had tendonitis, but it kept it on. But anyway, we made the final. Hornby made the final against Hallsville.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a very intense game, and they beat us 8-6. I think my
bad.
brother cheated, I'm sure of it. He did a rugby player, rolled it between his legs. But we had to play right at the end, and Marty never kicked the ball out the full. We're going to do the dead man where you lie down and pick you up off the ground. But it was a great season. There were 93. Some good players. Hallsville had a stacked side, and Hornby and a lot of the other good sides around town. You know, real good comp. Canterbury, Buzzy after beating Auckland in the middle of the year, and you know.
So that's the big game.
That's the big game.
Well, that one. A bit of a chat about that because this is like folklore in Canterbury history here. You know, like you had a reunion for it just recently last year. You know, you're lining up with your mate Aaron Whitaker in the halves. You got Justin Wallace on the wing, Mike Doreen on the other.
It's Justin Wallace is on the bench.
Oh,
he's trying to punch Frank Endicott to get on with him.
Sorry, Justin.
He's standing on him. Well, Justin was a starting halfback the first time we beat Auckland, so he's
the half he converted to the wing.
He's been everywhere, but that's how good the side was. He can't make it.
Yeah.
He could make it. The week before, Bergie's got in and pulled his hamstring.
Yeah.
So we have to move in one, and means you know we could have other options, but. And Andrew Vincent's been a mainstay. He has to be in the side.
Right.
Blair Harding comes into the side. And then it's Hornby backline. Me, Blair Harding and Brett Roger. With Ferdu Taiawa, the Buzzer Doreen, and Marty the Creature at the fullback. And Witt goes to 7. And then you got Edwards, you got Tudor there.
Yep.
The assassin, he's there. And him and Logan. Logan's there and Angel. And effectively the 3 Hornby was Toots from Hornby originally and so is Logie.
Yep.
Brent Stewart. And Big Monty Simonu.
Yeah.
And what Cully with Nagasaki, Shane Nagataki and Paul Johnson. Yeah. Andrew Vincent and Justin White. Yeah, and a couple of players like Henry Noose and Shane Endicott just missed the side, you know.
Yep.
And and we're up for the game. There's no doubt about it. And I felt sorry for Paul Bergman. He'd been playing great all year.
Yeah.
But he should have passed it that week against Wellington the week before. He tried to go a bit too far and the old hammy went. And I thought, passed it. But, you know, he was working with Canterbury Rugby League and another guy, he was here. They did a massive, great marketing that week. They had that. And they got Lee Jamon, the cricketer. He told me.
Lee Jamon.
Yeah. He told me that he'd never been to the crowd were packed in. And it was the first ones when they did those cannons shooting up with big.
Yeah.
And what they've asked me, and Bergie says, what do you think? So if you guys stay in the change room, we'll do that trick, and we'll get them Auckland out first, and then and we'll play the music to the Omen. What's that? That do 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 do. And they did that to them. And Auckland are out there getting booed by the crowd, and that Omen music coming at them at this and then we run out and it's unreal. And right from the start, the funniest thing in the shed, I never see Toots freak out and I'm getting around, but I knew, we've been with Logan for that long, he's going to be late. But it didn't worry us. But Toots goes, where's Logan? I said, mate, he'll be here. And next thing he bursts in, there you go, everyone. I said, fuck, you're late. You just worry about how you're going to play. I said, righto. So we do our plays and we're off from it. What happens? The first one goes good, but and if you see the camera, it always comes back off. We get there, he goes, why don't we just do the same play? They're not onto it. And I said, yeah, I had someone out, and they weren't fucked straight away because we just went first play. The prop goes here, runs to the 10, and then the halfback takes the next one. And just skirts it to where we want it to be, and it gets a real quick bail on. Right. And then Logan just comes from the blind, open to the blind, so it's a skinny blind. Right. And you're going to play numbers on them, 3 on 4 or 2 on 1, and how we did it. Right. Always like that. The first one he double pumps, sells a dummy, and turns either road party inside out, and then Marty comes on. The second one, Craig Evans told me he didn't know where he was going. He said, I thought it was either Logan just drew and passed, and Brett just went straight through the hole and. Mike Doreen scores in the corner, the zigzag corner. That's always his corner, Buzzer's corner, the big zigzag on the thing.
With Addington.
With Addington, people used to sit.
Oh, that was, of course, he's Addington.
And we're up 12, and I thought, we're going pretty good here. We're good. And then, obviously, we kept D'ing up hard on them, and things went our way, and it was a good score. You could see, if I've seen other parts of the game, you could see Tara, and we didn't have a good record down here, and Tia could get away. They could start, if they started playing, they had to be really hard D'ing up on them, but they never were lucky. We just kept them out of the game.
They just had one of those flat games.
Yeah. Well, they started trying. They couldn't. We're watching them all game, and big Joe Verganen's only 17 years old, and we're watching them closely. I was watching them closely with T where he was going to go, but Toots was marking it pretty well. The old tennis ball, because he was bouncing around everywhere, old Toots. But that was fantastic. I mean, I can't, even these days, I can't. People talk about it. It was one of our good games.
Yeah.
But people remember that one the most. And Logan's a big mythical rap about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was fantastic too. And the reunion.
Yeah. That
was beautiful, brilliant. And just a couple of guys just took quite mate. Obviously, Blair Harding, rest in peace, he did. But everyone was there, and everyone was in great spirits.
That's really cool.
Oh, it went great, and it would have been better if Frank's horse had been running, but we would have put more on the bar, but it didn't matter in the end. We had other sponsors that come on forward on silent one, like thanks Lee Hart and people and Paul Johnson.
Yeah.
But it was great to get around the same room and real good. Good laugh. You had a laugh right to the end. Yeah. And I was lucky that Brett, Roger and Simon Angel staying with me. And that was fantastic. We'd been hanging out for years, the Hornby boys, and thanks to Archie Jacobs for driving us around all weekend and looking after us, and Logan for being sober on that one and great driving us around as well.
It's pretty cool, like being little brother to Auckland, but being such a stacked team. But you guys were stacked yourselves. To be fair,
I already thought that.
A lot of Kiwis in there,
and played in England. Stewie had played at Halifax before that. And, Buzz had been at Carlisle, and Win had been in a couple of Illawarra and played over there. And Fedu had been around, and he'd been on the Kiwi tour in '89. Fedu, the possum.
Yep.
And Mike Cully had been a junior Kiwi, and Toots had been prolific at West with Ellery Hanley.
Yeah.
And he was at Featherstone Rovers at the time.
Oh, wow.
They weren't going to release him, but Frank talked to me. I remember Frank goes, "I've got a surprise for you 3 weeks out because we're." What's he got here? He goes, Toots turns up, mate. The boys like, you're guilty. Because Toots' last game was in '88, I think, '88 for Canterbury, and when Logan got stiff armed at Carlisle Park, and it was a bad tackle from Dave Watson, and we were like, Dave, we weren't going to get you for that one. We're not going to forget you, Dave.
Yeah. It's Toots and Brent Stewart ended up at West State. Both of them.
Yep.
Yeah. Very good, very good. So, 1993, you ended up going on tour of Britain and France, and you got to captain New Zealand. I mean, come on, you got to captain New Zealand for 2 midweek games. What's that experience like?
Mate, tell you, I don't want to be like the butcher.
Come on.
Totally frustrated. It was great, and you're there, and what happened the week before? It's my other. So I test against Great Britain. Test against Australia, where I didn't get on. Yep. So I'm in the test team against Wales. First up. On the bench again, and I'm like, I might get on here. How he's pulling his finger out. Anyway, throws the subs out and then leaves me on the bench again. Now, when Graham Lowe goes, what are you doing? He goes, I want him to start next week, captain anyway. So I'm like, fuck, just put me on.
10 minutes.
Another 50 quid as well, and I would have got another cap. But anyway, so we go into the game, we're playing Bradford, and Bradford are winning the comp.
Yeah.
The big bombers are out for us because we're going to be beaten and had 2 goes against Great Britain on tours here recently, and they had a good side. Derek Fox and Davey and Paul. There's Nui, not Paul. Paul Dixon and big forward pack. Harmon and good side. And we're going all right. We're in the game, but Gerald Cordell was out. I'm sure he was out the corner there, and they let it in, and we just got beat 14-8. Gary comes on and starts a punch up. Remember, there's a punch up right in the game. It goes over into the bench, and they're off the bench into each other. And man, you can't control them. It was going madness. But how is dirty? We're dirty, we're dirty on the bus, and I could see it was dirty and that. So we're still hanging in there. Anyway, I got that, and it's a hard game. And then we go to play Castleford.
Yep.
And we're in this game. But they've got Tawara, Richie Blackmore and Kempy playing for them, and they're playing for their test spots.
Wow.
With Lee Crooks, Beefy England, and Johnny. Oh, there's some good players, the good fullbacks as well, and Richard Russell, and very good side. Big Hampton, that prop there.
Yep.
And we're in the game, and we're there, and we're just real close, and they reckon it was real hard. I mean, Richie Blackmore's playing out of his skin.
Yep.
And I try and tail his belt and everyone, and we just get nodded again. And I'm like doing the interview after the game, thinking, "Oh, that's it for me. I'm going to get draxed right here now."
Yeah. And
I talked, and anyway, on the way back in the bus, I know how he's filthy. He's up to me, and it's all right. Calls a meeting. Yeah, right. That's it, mate. Yeah. Someone else. Okay. I said, fair enough. It's all right, Howard. It's all right. As long as we go on form again after this. So next thing he tells Logan he's going to be there, but we're playing Saints. We play the first test as well after that and get rolled into Wembley. And I'm thinking, that's 17-0. And like, Great Britain has a good side, but I just didn't think he's putting the right players in with the right players and mixing it up in there. But anyway, we play Saints on the Wednesday night, and he put Steve Kearney as captain. He thought Logan, and we ended up winning. I scored the match winner on time. I come on and play halfback.
Nice. And
these Widdets, Gino shoulder, come off, and he just leaves Wood at 6 and me come on at 7. Yeah. And this halfback thing again.
Canterbury
Captain. We play the other way around, and we get the match on time, and he's a lot better. Things are good, and he's talking to me now. He's saying, "What about the selection? What are you thinking?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And then we go to the second test at Wigan, and there's a chart. I think, he's brilliant, some English boy, and we get beaten again.
Oh no,
mate, and he's filthy. But we're going away that next week. We in between that week, we're going to play the Great Britain under 24s at up in Worthington.
Yeah,
and we beat them, give them a touch up too.
Yep, good.
So and it puts everything back, confidence back on.
Yeah, definitely.
Everyone's back in a good mood.
Tails up, let's go.
You get this, and then I get this, and then I think there's another game. The next weekend we're playing Leeds.
Oh,
and his name there said they in the bench as well on that, and we beat them. We give them a big score.
You gave them a hiding, didn't you?
38-6.
Was it Freeman and Whittaker in the halves?
Yeah, then
you gave them a hiding.
In the centres and we give them a touch up. And then the feeling's good.
They had a mean side.
Well, the feeling's good in there, and we go to the third test, and that Sonny Nichols smacks John Lomax in the back of the head. And I'm 18th man. I get the 18th man. I'm doing the kit with Gary. I see Gary Skelfield looking at me going, not good. But I think before that we played, and then the last game after that we played Witness.
Okay.
Sini and we beat them. And that was good. And there was a bit of a punch up in that game too. And Sini pulls me out, we do a bit of a dance, pretend we're having a go. And then we're into France. And the first 3 games in France are good. We play the French League. Mark Bourneval's playing for them.
Oh, yeah.
Big horses running with his knees up, run straight at me. And the centres and Gary at half, I'm going to get up and hit him. I said, "Why don't you try that?" Anyway, we win that game, and then we win the next one's another punch up with the French boys love coming out.
Yep.
I'll play the first 3. Centre, 5'8", 5'8", and each scores big score. And then he names the squad. And 18, 19, Mark Nixon and John Paul Johnson. I'm like, what the?
You can't get
let's play the 3. But because, and he knows I'm filthy anyway, so it's all right. Seen Howie since, it's all great. But we got the kit after the. So we'll hand out jerseys and shorts to everyone. Yeah. Have these boys, here's your number. And that was great. We got France, because Howie's one thing with the Kiwis had been beaten in France, and so did Australia.
Oh, wow.
Sometimes you can be beaten. Then we went to Carcassonne Avenue, beautiful, brilliant there. So we won the 4 games, I think it can be tricky there, the referee. And so he brought Kevin Kempy in for the game, and probably didn't really need to, but I think we would have won anyway. And so everyone was happy, and we go to LA on the way home, and it was good. Have 3 nights and go to Disneyland, do the little shit, big drink up, have a lot of money, and have a team fun with a lot of alcohol. And Dwayne Mann and Logie have... Oh, mate, they've gone to this bottle store, but they're unaware of, they aren't thinking, how are they going to buy $900 American worth of alcohol and bring it back to the team room without bringing it back to the hotel? How are they going to get it back? And I've realised, shit, how are you doing? And this American dude turns up, and I'm actually outside when they come up, in a pickup truck. Hey guys, I'll give you a ride here, throw it on the back, and Logan turn up, Logan's on the back, holding on to the piss, and I'm, you're joking, so they get the old thing, bring it all in there. The first night, have you ever seen that Steinlager ad where they're hitting golf balls? Well, that's where it comes from.
Yeah.
They're hitting golf balls from inside the say about over here to get them out through the double doors into the longest drive into the car park.
Okay.
And there's no cars parked out there, and they're smashing it. I've walked in the room. That's hilarious. We're having a go. We're having a drive. Next thing, Johnny Lomax walked through the door, and someone's just skied one, and it's hit that, bounces straight back and goes straight past his head. And I said, right, I'm going.
I'm out.
See yous. But the boys all loved each other. We got back to New Zealand. You know, I suppose losing the two as captain was hard going. You know, you had a lot of time to get over that. But the Test series was So I guess and that rolled into the line we cut the next season. We were pretty jaded there because we'll go on the Clash of the Codes there on Whittaker.
You had a great season though, 11 tries.
I started slowly and then Phil Bancroft, if Stokes should be in Stokes, he had a good plan. He wanted to arrest me and bring me off the bench, and we started off well and then went a bit iffy, but the Cardinals came good.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a good comp. It was like somewhere bobbling under between the English second division and first division. There was a lot of good players here. And
New Zealand
well
still had a strong comp. The Warriors weren't around at that point. They were a year away.
Yeah, 12 good sides.
Decent players kicking around.
Yeah, a lot of good players that were going to the Warriors next year.
Well, Gavin Hill was playing for the Cougars, my old stopping ground. Yeah. So, he was playing for Waikato. So, good side.
And the split Canterbury, the thing is, Jared Stokes I thought Wayne Wallace was an odd-on favourite to get the Cardinals job.
Yeah.
But he missed it to Jared Stokes, so Wayne Wallace had to take the Shiners. He took all the Hornby boys over to there.
Yeah.
And they started well, and he told me he couldn't afford me. He wanted me and myself and Wyatt David over there as well. And they couldn't afford it. Shiners had the Cardinals tried to sign me early, so that was good. And we're on a good side. Stokesy was very, very good, Jared Stokes. And I hadn't been coached by him before. He'd been in the Halls one. He had good plans. And what happened? He had a good plan we had Phil Bancroft, and I like Phil. Phil was great, and obviously Darryl Paulson and Whit was going to Wakefield. He might have been going, so we're going to get 4 halves down to 3. And he said, we've got to just use lightly and come back right in the right time of the year. You've had a big, been on the tour. You can be jaded. I said, hang on, I need to go swimming and get back. But we'll do this for this period of time, but. Unbeknownst, John Coffey had got hold of this and had the back line. He put a headline on the back of the paper. Nixon dropped. And
great.
I didn't need that, but that's all right. We're in town. But anyway, Bankhead's cool. We're all cool. And we go up to North Island and we're playing the Vulcans, and we're in the airport.
Yeah.
And Phil's been going all right, but Phil had a habit of going. He's turned up to the plane with his tracksuit pants on the wrong way and his jacket inside out, and Stokesy looks at it instantly going, nah, you're not playing.
You're out.
Mark, you're starting, you're out, and it was the end of him. But we came good, and we came good, and we won a lot of games. We beat North Coast twice. Here and away, they won the comp.
Being Conklin playing fullback?
Walter Wilson.
Gun.
Great players. Good side. Darren Avery, you couldn't speak highly more of that. Players, and Stokesy and Tony Waldemoff was a trainer, assistant coach.
Yep.
Very, very good. And Scott Woodgate on one wing, and we could not beat we had trouble with the Manukau side.
Yeah.
Everyone else were good.
Yep.
And I think they beat us they beat us 3 times.
I think High Trucker Sydney.
Yeah.
Was
Firu
the captain.
Tawa.
Yeah.
Dean Clark, Artie Clark. Des Meyer, big boppers side.
Yeah.
And
big Auckland boys.
we were doing them in the court in the semi-final, and then they played that rollerball where they just go one side and then roll it all the way back.
Yep. I think they made the final, didn't they? But they lost the final.
4-2 Northcote.
Yeah.
And then the Warriors come in, and it was great. And I'm thinking, yeah, my leg's still a bit hurt, but it's harder ground, and shit.
Yeah.
And I hurt, I got another whack in it. And anyway, so we finished that season. It's like, yeah, party time. Next thing, here's Steve Martin. Steve Martin from Featherstone Rovers, Australian, Liz. He has come over. I've got an injury, a couple of injuries. I've got Martin Pearson down, Chris Bibbs out too. Frank's recommended you. I've got one spare overseas quota spot. I'm like, yeah. He goes, what do you want to turn? I said, right, okay. Are you serious? He goes, you can get there long. We'll get there. Take a couple of weeks, get it sorted. I said, right. What has happened previously, and I know this in the UK, if you get a lump sum payout, sometimes they sack you and take the money they pay out.
Right.
So I said, righto, I'll have the house, the car, you pay for everything. The rent, the water, the electric, gas, everything. Yep, no worries. And here's X amount. It was like £300 a week.
Right.
1,000 when I got there, 1,000.
Okay.
300, 200 a win, and 100 to be in the top side. Right. So 600 quid a week, and I'm not paying any bills.
That's not bad, man.
That's the thing, because you lump sum, they will tell you, yeah. Well, because that's the last gig at Rochdale.
Yeah.
They will give you the lump sum and make you pay for everything.
Right, okay.
You have to go and find your rent, you have to pay your bills.
First.
Yeah. No. The big dollar.
Sorted.
So,
that's great.
And it was great. And so if you came in Rochdale, Manchester Road, was living in a Coronation Street house. This was living in a beautiful Mews cottage in Yorkshire.
Yeah.
And it was lovely. We were in Toots around the corner, and Eva Ropati was the other import.
Oh wow!
At Featherstone, and what a good side. Big Leo Casey, big boy Malloy, Steve Malloy, Matt Cullen had been at Rochdale with me, Carl Gibson, Daniel Dive, the Frenchman, and the other Frenchman, Freddie Bonquet.
Oh, Bonquet.
Yeah, they loved him in the village.
I bet they
did. But anyway, Eva went home for some reason. I think we went to Parramatta. So Brett Roger coming, stayed with me, and I was married with my wife Jo, and we had a great season. Featherstone Rovers, very good season.
Yeah, because you had like a Challenge Cup semi-final with Brendan Tudor and Brett Rogers is playing in the semi-final.
We'd gone mass. We beat Saints on the way. We beat a couple, drew with Leeds previously. Played all the top sides, Warrington, and we're going well. We were hard side to beat, especially at Post Office Road.
Yeah.
And but what happened? Steve Martin got the sack, and they bring in Dave Ward. Right. Now we've gone from one to the other. And Dave Ward's old style English coach, legend. No, I remember his first training one was 2 laps, lads, and we'll have a fucking bath. And we got in the pub. We get some fucking team bonding. We get.
It was
great. And I got a bit injured there and come back, and Mark Haskins, a halfback, we signed him on Sheffield for £80,000 halfback. It is a hard man to follow. But I got a knee injury there, but I'll come back. Well, and he managed to catch the side on the bench, and it was great to make the Challenge Cup.
Yeah, man.
We played Leeds, and Leeds had Ellery, Gary Schofield, Alan Tate, Asini Formoglio, George Mann, Craig Innes, Kevin Iro.
You had no right to beat them.
What a team. We're running out at the Allen Road, 22,000. Wow. And we're in the tunnel, and Toots, you beautiful man, goes, see, how much you on? He goes, 1,500. He goes, fuck, we're only on 1,000. Fucking hell. And so we get out there, and things don't start too well. Ellery goes a couple of interceptions, but he ended up scoring something like 38-26 or something like that. Wow. We come back well. Yep. There's just a couple of things didn't quite go there, and they go on to, I think Wigan beat them at Wembley.
Yeah.
But what a sight, And you see after Ellery's mate after the game was great, and they ended up finishing that season quite well. Featherstone Rovers, and so I wanted to get back. My leg was sore, Fuck. So we get back to New Zealand, and Dave Wood's like Featherstone Rovers, Super League's coming.
Yep.
And Featherstone Rovers they finished 10th. They should not be relegated. But for some reason, they want to bring a new side in to the Super League. So they bring a French side in, Jermaine, and they started, is it New South Thunder or some other side that they want to bring in and spread the game? So Dave was on the phone to me, goes, Hardy lad, we'll get you back next year. Same thing, we'll talk terms and everything. And I said, this one thing, Dave, I just got to get the physio on my leg. There's a bit of a fracture there, but a couple of times it ended up being a fracture.
Right.
And got it in there, so I had to, didn't have a car, so I was out for a wee bit. They hadn't started. Then I get a phone call 2 weeks later. It's hard, Dave, can't afford you. We're not going to Super League. They've been relegated to Div 2, and they've never been back since.
Wow.
From 1996 till now, what is that, 27 years, Featherstone Rovers, the great club they are, won the Challenge Cup, have never been back in the top flight because of some commercial reasons, and other times might have been their own doing. But yeah, it's pretty sad, eh?
Yeah.
And it's neither Rochdale, they've been in the same flight either. They went on that way.
Yeah.
But Featherstone Road, that was terrible what they did to them, really. Yeah. And Post Office, it's a great thing to play at Post Office Road. You wouldn't, beautiful ground.
Yep.
And the Rovers, up the Rovers. And so I get back and had to fix my leg anyway. I got a job as a postie.
Yeah.
Yeah, riding the bike. And so I don't play 96 back here. Oh no, I don't play the even 95 in New Zealand and come back in 96.
Yep. And you had a couple of premierships with Hornby when you came back.
Yeah. It was great. Wayne, and once again, Wayne Wallace is at the helm of the Panthers.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, he should work for the CIA, because why Post Office, then I'd buy a car and go to Avis Rent Cars and got a bit of cash job down there, clean them up the ski seat, and he tracks me down.
Yeah.
Right, I've checked up a sponsor, I see, he goes, I know Stuart Stokes chasing you to play for the Cardinal, or the Bulls, whatever. I said, yeah, they are. But I'm going to have a crack at them and see what happens. So I played with Canterbury Bulls and it was going all right, but I got whacked in the face.
Right.
And fractured my jaw, and it dropped.
All right.
And had to have an operation, so that was the end of that. So when I come back, I just played for Hornby, and Bob was getting me jacked up, and that was good, and we ended up winning the comp.
Working.
Winning the comp, great season, Hornby, and played for Canterbury was here that year as well. We beat Auckland.
Yeah.
And I think Leslie Volcano was playing, and it was a good year. It was great. Another and I think 94, Stacey told me he was 16, played against Auckland at Canterbury. I said, you're 17, Stacey, the other day. He said 16. But yeah, and then, so that was good. And it comes into 97, and I'm thinking, to the wife, mate, we might have to do something here. We're all turning up. We'll go and play in France, shall we? Look at that option. Yeah. But next thing, Terry Herman's ringing me up. The Roosters. Now, the Roosters are looking for a halfback.
Yeah.
And we'll get you over. And I said, yeah. Next thing, yep. It's suited for Darty Beatson on the phone.
No way. Darty Beatson.
And he said, yep, got the phone, got everything, ticket, everything for you. And I get to the airport, and it's fucking Artie Beatson's here, picking me up from the airport.
No way.
He goes, I thought you were taller. And I said, well, yeah, righto, thanks, Artie. Anyway, we're driving the train. We're training outside the Sydney ground where they train. Outfield, it's the reserve grey side. I'm wearing a Puma shirt, which is the same colour as the Adidas, but I can't turn up there. And anyway, we're driving through traffic. He's aggressive driving. These people, get out of the way. They've got to get fucking. I'm like, you get out of the way. Artie Beatson's driving the car.
It's Artie Beatson, yeah.
Drops me at training, and straight in the halfback. And Joe Thomas is the coach. And it took me 10 minutes. They didn't explain anything to me. So you drop straight in the end of the drills. It took me 10 minutes to work out what actually they were doing.
Yeah.
They were playing a city. It was a 30 metre. 50 was Sydney, and the roll was the Roosters. They were using words instead of numbers. Okay. And I was like, fuck, got onto that. And then the other players, and this just dropped me straight, didn't it? Yeah. So that was all good. I had to get back to, no, they didn't really, someone dropped me off at Terry's house, stayed at Terry's, and then right when they started playing Manly at Manly, another reserve grade game, and we give them go good at halfback.
Yep.
But between this and training, I think you did that. That was great.
Yeah.
Beat Manly and reserve grade side. A few people come and watch, and fuck yeah, I'm good. I'll get a fucking shot because they were a bit short in halves.
Yep.
And we go to training, and Phil, this is the proper training with fucking long passing. I wasn't real strong on that side, but and we're doing quicking drills.
Okay.
And Phil Gill's here.
No
and
way.
he's trying to tell me, he's saying, I'm spraying a couple, kicking them, bombing, and Ivan Cleary's catching with their wingers.
Yeah.
And you're spraying a couple out there, but I'm hitting a couple of good ones. And Phil's going, you've got to power off the leg and do this. And I'm like, this is out of it. But anyway, laughing like that. So we're going to play South. We're all going to South. In the country, it's a top side, and it's a night game. And final trial, they're going to whatever. And I jump on the bus, and no one's sitting next to me. Next thing, Ivan Cleary jumps on and sits next to me.
How do you play it? Yeah.
And he goes, "Here you go, mate. You're right. Here." He goes, "Mate, how did you get to be here?" He asked me every question. How are you here? How do you know? Where did they pulled you from?
Yeah.
Who
even are you?
He just asked me every wanted to know. And this is why he's such a detailed guy.
Yeah.
And he knows New Zealand and all that, and he just asked me every question, and it was real good. And good luck, and we get to and same people with, and funny as Nigel Gaffey and David Barnhill were at the Roosters at the time, and they were like, so we're playing South, it's hard to play, things aren't going too good anyway. I get the drag after 50, and I'm thinking, I'm here, but they sort of said, well, you can hang in there, we're not going to pay you much. But house back here and all that, and it was all good, and I'm sort of fucking, but go to France would be better, but come back, but even going there and the whole experience, I got right back, and it sort of seen my training method for that year. I played a real good game. I was playing in '97. I reckon I was playing my best football again.
Really?
Like early, better football at 5'8", better, stronger, faster.
Yep.
Playing that good, and it showed it playing with Hornby. I got dislocated elbow halfway. Just once Doakes wanted to play in that rip, but no, I didn't want it. Hornby jacked up a good deal. Dislocated elbow. Come back from that. Playing real good. Played for Canterbury against Auckland again in '97. They had the best game I had at 5'8", I reckon. Yep. Even better than a couple of earlier games to '91. I was stepping strong, felt doing a lot of weights and training good and eating properly. And real good. I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm going good here. Make the New Zealand Residents 13, hopefully get in that. We'll look at going to France, and I talked to Peter Brown.
Yep.
And you can play with a French club and good competent will be quite cool, and we're playing Riccarton at number 2 ground, and the first half starts off real good. Playing centre, bang, get a try, then another one scored 2. But in the second half, we're giving it, and their coach is Kevin Herman Williams, and he's yelling out, get Nixon. Oh, why? But we're going pretty good. But I dart down the blind side from a cut across, and I pick the ball up. It's just a bit low, and get it like that. While I'm like that, their marker guy's there, the P&G guy, flies out and hits me with a full-on headbutt.
Oh my god!
Right in the side of the skull.
Yep.
And I'm instantly down.
Yep.
And I'm
out.
And Neville Woodham leaps the field to run on to get him, and it shuts the crowd up. And anyway, Wayne Wallace goes, and like a young Blair Orange is playing the horse driver.
Yeah.
He's good footballer. He's playing halfback, and he's here, and he's only 19, 18, and we've had a good season. We're walking with him, and Wallace going, listen, don't see the doctor because you'll get 4 weeks. Stand there. And next thing, uncontrollable, spewing all over. I'm in the thing, and I had to go to hospital and into there for a week, and then I have to go and see a neurosurgeon. I have to get there, and we go in there. He's got the bow tie, me and wife, and sorry to tell you this, you get another whack on your head, son, and your brain you will probably die. And I don't know who started crying first, me or my ex-wife. Well, she thought I must have been going home. But yeah, it was just the end of it. It was just like, and what else happened? A week later, my face dropped.
Yeah.
It's like, wasn't the Pawsley thing, but the nerves in the face dropped right down. So like,
oh man.
And it recovered because I had a great doctor called Deb Robinson, who was the All Black doctor. and we got that sorted. That came right, and mate, it was just. And people say, are you still deaf? I said, well, do you know what permanently means? It's severed the nerves, so you can't plug anything. So I'm deaf in this ear.
Yeah.
And so ACC, I'm glad I never got ACC. They said they ruled it as a 7% impairment, deaf in one ear.
Okay.
Probably had to lose a finger. The job was still at the post office, so it helped me get the job at the airport as aviation security services. I didn't get any ACC.
Okay.
But so that happened, and most people these days, you'd have to get counselling on that sort of carry on, because you didn't know what to do with yourself.
Yeah.
Like that was my whole thing. It was gone in one.
Yeah, one hit.
One hit, and it's finished. And crazy. I never. Crazy. And that guy ended up getting deported.
Okay.
Papua New Guinea away.
Back to Papua New Guinea.
Anyway, Hornby won the competition that year. Piston. They beat Papua Nui.
Right.
Great thing. And then I got involved with coaching a younger side, then some Canterbury 19-year-old side. And then it was a winner. Chicken dinner. The rugby union boys come knocking on the door.
Yeah.
Stevie Dodds at High School Old Boys. And I ended up being at Old Boys for 5 years, and doing their first 15 as well as a trainer.
Yep.
And training some good players like a young, well obviously Dan Carter's young, and you got Sean Webb, Nigel Ligo, Joe at Hilliarda, and obviously Mertens came back there, and Ruben Thorne, and and a lot of and Simon Cron, and they've got on to coach now, and that was great, because I obviously knew rugby union, having played a lot when we were younger, and it was great, and it was cool, and had a few years there, and then I tried to get out and went to Littleton, brought me back in.
Yep.
I was playing Div 2 and did that. Then I went to Brighton, was great there, 2 years there, and they won the comp, first time in 54 years.
Oh, how good.
And mate, I said, when we come here, Roddy, but I'll come here, you win the comp.
Yep.
And they did, and it was great.
Awesome, man. Oh, good. So that's taken you to the end of your career.
And now I'm back and since I stopped there, we've gone to be a rugby league selector for Canterbury.
Yeah.
Which is going to be great, and we're looking forward to that. And obviously I've taken, notice of a lot of other things going on and along the way, and
Nice.
So we'll be looking forward to working with White Duran and Walter Wilson, and and it's good to see. And Richard Agar's come over here. He's 12 years old when I'm at Rochdale, and I've kept in contact with him over the years. And him being in the Warriors now it's exciting, because he stayed at my house, come down last year, and come straight down here and stayed and talked about footy with me, and met some guys and knows a lot about Canterbury, and he's been good, and it's been exciting for New Zealand now.
Nice. So what do you think about all the talk of the Canterbury-based NRL team?
It'll be very hard. I mean, you need $100 million and a super base. You know where you go with the Crusaders. Not going to let that happen. You need a state-of-the-art gym, training ground, everything's going to cost money. We ain't got it. The Crusaders even got it.
Right.
I've done Rugby Park up like how it is. Well, they might give us the showgrounds back.
That would be cool.
And do that, but it's a dream. But I'd definitely say that they'll be going to Papua New Guinea, 18 million people there.
Okay, yeah. So Pierre Nixon, you may know him. He wants
He's
to know
beautiful.
your thoughts about him playing football instead of rugby.
He's a beautiful boy, Pierre, and he's a good-looking lad. I watched him play soccer. You know how you're meant to be a father, and on the sideline I said, well, that's the last time I'm coming. You kick the ball out, you can't even keep it in the field. But hey, he did drum lessons. He's he's a very good journalist, and he does drum and bass, and I pushed him to help him out there. But no, I didn't want him to play rugby league because he's too good looking.
Fair enough. Okay, Aaron Costello wants to know, would you have ever considered crossing the boundary line and playing alongside Aaron Whittaker at Horsville?
Because he's a very tricky character. I considered going to coach them one day, back in the day, but not going there to play. They had too many good players over there. Linwood was the only club that offered me a better deal, and I left Hornby once to go to I could never do it, and in Glenora and Auckland as well, and I could never play against Canterbury.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, Pamela Nixon wants to know, who was your toughest coach on you during your
career?
career?
Obviously it's PB Nixon, who my father, he was very tough, and he asked myself and Logan Edwards back in the day, how was it too tough on you, and we went, no. If he wasn't like he was, we'd never got anywhere.
Yeah.
You know you're pussyfooting around. If you played bad, you played bad. And you don't want to make a tackle, you miss that tackle, he's going to tell you.
Yep.
He's no use. You can't. I don't know how you talk to the players, but I think if you play a game which is rugby league or rugby union or even American football, you're going to have it up straight.
Yeah.
There's no. I mean, you're only one of the team.
Yes.
It's not about you. And when you become bigger than the team, and you think you're someone else. It's not. You're just a component. And you need to know that you're not pulling your weight, and that's the whole thing. And I've coached some teams, and there's always players that want to stick their head out of the burrow, but you have to manage them. That's why some of these guys are great.
Yes.
As coaches.
Okay. All right. So Phil Bergman, he wants to know what's your philosophy on tackling, i.e., they can't run without a head.
Possibly, this statement it's probably been a pre-game statement before we played Wellington or Auckland, and one of us and it might have been the last thing I said before we've gone out. But no, I'm always a low tackler. I couldn't go high, and a lot of people go, I never went high. I had to go around the legs and just have technique, head on, side on, and especially at centre, you can't. You try to be a macho man and go in high. It's not my. I got tackled high, but I don't think I ever went too high on anyone. Or might have when I was a bit older. Yeah. I was never third man in.
Okay. Brendan Jury, last fan question. Brendan Jury wants to know: do you remember playing a league union hybrid game in Queenstown in the early 90s?
Oh, absolutely.
Tell me about that.
Absolutely. So again, my mate Andrew Jackson. He has started a gym down in Queenstown, and he has flown in me, myself, Brent Stewart, and Frank Endicott to come down from Canterbury. He's taken, and they've got, and also you've got Andy Hayden there.
Yep.
Mark Cowboy Shaw, a host of other players, and we've played. I think it was actually we tried a bit of league, but I don't think they could do it. I played flanker and come on, and I was in the ruck with Mark Shaw. We'd pile into the ruck and ball, and it was brilliant. We were wearing bluff jerseys, and it was cool, man. It was pretty tough and hard, and I remember Howie's down here too. I'm hanging out Mark Shaw, and we were still having a drink in the lift with our boots and having a laugh, and he says to Howie, "I like this boy." Anyway, so it's good, and it was great. We did play that, and we had a good time down there, and sorry, Jacko, we didn't pay for that bar pool in the room there, but I'll fix you up since, I think. When you were in my house last time, but very good. Frank and Brent Stewart and Andy. I got to meet Andy Hayden there too, and I told him I read both of his books, and he ended up actually looking after me as a bit of a manager. He got me on the Clash of the Codes and a couple of other things for me. Yeah. And he rang up looking for me and got me a good gig, and very good. Oh, Andy. He was 20%, man, but we managed to knock that back.
Awesome, man. Okay, so 3 more questions. These are my questions. Who will win the NRL in 2024?
I tell you what, I think the Warriors have got a shot.
Yep.
I like to look at Penrith obviously again. The Broncos will be tight. Going to be tight up the top of the table. But I'd like to see, I think that you'd like to see the Warriors get up there, but I think that Penrith are going to be hard to bowl, even though they've got someone covered in for the Carlos of Coggo and Luluai's last year. Luluai's game and
they signed Brad Schneider to cover Coggo. He's great. They got off the UK and the Raiders. Yeah.
So Coggo, his old man, I think it's his uncle, Trevor Coggo, John Coggo, played for Oldham against me. So
Okay.
But the Broncos will be hard, and I don't see the other side there. I can't really. The Roosters will be thereabouts.
I think the Roosters are going to.
You like them? I know you like them.
Oh, I don't like them as a side. I'd never follow them, but as a team on paper and their squad,
the tricolours.
It's pretty hard to knock them.
They're one of my favourites. Even though I like Canberra, I love them. You always follow the Roosters. You know. But hey, we can't wait. It's going to be great. Back on TV and those afternoons on cold afternoon, a bit of footy, get the roast pork out. Oh, beautiful.
A few cold ones. That's me. Okay, so what's your favourite TV show?
Hey, and well, there's been a few, but I as a series, I discovered Seinfeld when I was younger, and I loved the humour there. Yeah. But Our Featherstone Pet would be one of them, the English show with brilliant humour, and the whole bond and how they Germany and used to base the Canterbury humour on that lot of that and atmosphere in the shed.
Yep.
And obviously Peaky Blinders and
I love Peaky Blinders. Great show.
Entourage, which I've watched again, about the Hollywood star, and he has his mates all living with him out of in the ad 8 called Artie Goldie's his agent. Crazy, great show.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Okay, cool. Right, last question. If you're on death row, what would your final meal be?
Mate, we're going to have my mother's sweet and sour pork.
Oh, yes, I love sweet and sour pork. I actually had it a couple of days ago. It was unreal.
It was brilliant. We'll go down to Super Walk and get it now. So it's not like it.
Sunding on Stanmore Road, mate. You don't want to miss that. It's so good. Awesome, man. Thank you so much for coming on the show, man. Going back in the day with me. It's been an
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, so cool having the man Mark Nixon on the show. How good is that? And thank you to everyone at home and listening on Spotify for watching. It's been another cracking episode. So thank you very much. And we'll see you guys next time for kickoff.
Full time.